card, fans. Coming up here at the Boston Garden. Get ready. Saturday, June the 23rd. The World Wrestling Federation is back in town. And what a card indeed. Rocky Johnson, come on in if you would. Roddy Piper.
And I got something to say. Roddy Piper, brother. I've had it with him. I'm fed up. I'm sick and tired. Gene, you know me. Everybody knows me. I try to be a nice guy. Try to keep my cool. But I'm not going to be insulted.
He did insult you.
By any man. I don't care where or whatever. But I'll tell you what. When I slapped you, Piper. Did you see that, Gene, when I slapped him?
It was right there.
I'll tell you one thing, brother. That made me feel good. But the only thing that didn't make me feel good, I didn't get the job done. But in Boston, Piper, there ain't going to be nobody hold me back. There ain't going to be no 15 guys holding on me so I don't break your neck, because it's just going to be me and you, nobody else. And I'll tell you one thing. This is facts, no brag. You take this to the bank. One of us is going out on a stretcher. And it ain't going to be me. You understand me, Gene? I figured you would.
All right, the words of the great Rocky Johnson, veteran from Washington, D.C. Gentlemen, please, if you would, join me. You promised me a surprise from Iran, Fred Blassie.
It just arrived. Made.
If we could get a tight shot on this boot,
It was just...
explain to me what this boot is all about.
This was made by the lead boot maker from Iran. I called Ayatollahs. I told you. I got on the phone last time and made a long-distance call. I said, send it in a hurry.
It figures they would have a custom lead boot maker in Iran.
And with the referee on the outside the ring, how many chances do you think Slaughter's got against the Iron Sheik?
Soldier, Ayatollah Blassie explained good. I used to have some lazy camel. They didn't know how to give me a ride too good. Or there was very stupid big camel like you without brain. But after I kick you with that boot, they ride me very good.
That's got lead in it.
Smart, very good. Now, soldier, I promise to all the Iranian people in the Boston, and I'm going to kick you with that special boots just like lazy camel.
That's like...
from left to the right and from right to the left.
You know, I'm going to make a comment here. If you were to hit somebody with this boot or kick them, it would have the effect of a crowbar, for crying out loud.
Soldier, you have started. I'm going to finish it. I come from wrestling family, wrestling background. You bring that stupid marine boots. Now, I'm going to finish you with that special camel boots. I'm going to kick you just like lazy camel. Your mama, your daddy, your friend, nobody going to recognize you after that. And that ugly face.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You know what happened to that guy that carries that flag for Sarge?
We saw that. Thank you. Iron Sheik in a boot camp match with Sergeant Slaughter. I'm certain we have not heard the end of this. Perhaps here in Boston at the Garden on Saturday, June the 23rd, it can be settled. Tito Santana, come on in. A proud Intercontinental Champion, a title you happen to win right here in this great city in the Boston Garden. Now, Greg the Hammer Valentine to challenge you for that prized possession.
That's right, Gene. You know, I've been doing a lot of traveling to different parts of the world, different countries. But Boston has a special place in my heart because it was right here in Boston where I took this belt from Albano's corner. Albano, it's not yours anymore. Now you got a man coming after me again. You've guaranteed him a certain amount of money. If he gets his back, he's going to take real good care of Greg the Hammer Valentine. And then Greg has not made it a secret to anybody that he came to the Worldwide Wrestling Federation to win the Intercontinental belt and the World Championship belt.
You know, the one thing, though, that he has even openly admitted, publicly admitted on this television program, Tito Santana, if he can't win the belt, he has vowed to injure you.
He's going to maim me. He's going to hurt me. He's going to put that figure four leg lock. Well, Greg, I'm not going to sit there and let you put that figure four leg lock on me. I worked too hard. I sweated. I trained for hours to win this belt. And I'm going to keep on doing the same thing to maintain this belt. Gene, it's not easy. Day in and day out competing against the best. And Greg is one of the best. But Greg, I aim to keep this for a long time, brother. Arriba!
Comes with the territory, so to speak, comes with the title. Of course, the challengers are going to be lining up for that very prestigious Intercontinental title. This time, Greg Valentine here in the Boston Garden on June 23rd. With all the friends that I have out of the Cape Cod area, I am looking very much forward to a new season of World Wrestling Federation action, South Yarmouth Cape Cod Coliseum, and the first big all-important date, Monday, June the 4th. It is going to be a very, very special evening. Tremendous action slated, including Sergeant Slaughter to go against the big man from Tennessee, Dr. David Schultz. I want to bring in a man from Auckland, New Zealand, big part of the World Wrestling Federation, a very stable force for many, many years, 5-time World Tag Team Champion, and truly, privately, your life, I respect you for it very much. Tony Garea, you are a gentleman, you're involved in the community, you're involved in kids' programs, very much like a Bob Backlund, for instance.
Well, thank you very much, Gene. I certainly appreciate the compliments, and I'm certainly looking forward to come back to Cape Cod. When is it, June 4th?
June 4th. Is Cape Cod, by the way, reminiscent at all of New Zealand? I've seen parts of New Zealand I know that are just gorgeous.
In the summertime, yes, most definitely. In the winter, well, where I come from, New Zealand, it's a little bit warmer than down Cape Cod. And, well, you've got the ocean around you, which we have in New Zealand. And
sure.
I enjoy
a lot of similarities.
There is a lot of similarities, yeah, in the countryside and the water and
very good. Seagulls, yes, we have those at Cape Cod. All right, well, Tony Garea, you've got a lot of things going for you right now. Some say you're on a roll. I don't know if you've got a tag team partner, but there's good potential that sooner or later you and that partner are going to be taking another shot at the World Tag Team Championship belts.
Well, if the occasion should arise, Gene, we'll definitely take a shot at it. That remains to be seen, of course.
Tony Garea, it is always a pleasure for me to visit with you. Very articulate, truly a gentleman. I thank you for your time.
Likewise.
Thank you. Coming up on Saturday, June the 23rd, it is going to be something else. The arrival of the World Wrestling Federation with some kind of a dynamite card, a boot camp match, grudge match, an intercontinental title match, if you will. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, come on in. One-on-one, you're going to be going against Polish Power, Ivan Putski, one rough, rugged individual, to say the least.
Big deal.
Well, what do you mean a big deal? Of course it's a big deal.
He's looks like Tokyo Joe, and you talking to me like it's a big deal. You're making something like it's really great that I'm wrestling Ivan Putski. He's wrestling me, Mr. Wonderful. That's the big deal. And I'm going to tell you this, Mr. Putski, you Polish, you Polak, whatever the heck you are.
Please.
Please what? I'm telling you what he is. Is he not Polish?
He is of a Polish.
What happened? Let me tell you what. What happened to the Polak that put odor eaters in his shoes? He disappeared. That's what happened. That's what I'm going to do. He disappeared.
All right, I thank you very much. A very outspoken, a very arrogant Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. By the way, more great stars on that card include George the Animal Steel. If you haven't seen him, you will be seeing him. He's going to be facing Salvatore Bellomo. Rocky Johnson, grudge match. It's you, Roddy Piper, against the great star from Washington, D.C., former tag team champion.
Big Rod, they call me.
They call me Big Rod. It's a big deal. Like Mr. Wonderful says, it's a big deal. You see what they're doing is they're coming on prime time. They're coming to us, Rocky Johnson. You know, he's been sitting around from Washington, D.C., capital of the world. Here's a goof that comes from the capital of the world where all the smart people are supposed to be from. The guy hasn't got a brain in his head. He sits there, got no education, comes up on the pit. What does he do? He slaps me trying to make a reputation for himself like everybody else. If he could just touch me or be near me, he wants to make a reputation for yourself. And you think that I'm just going to sit down like some lazy dog, sit down like you do, lay on your couch and relax, forget it. You're coming out here saying all kinds of insults, saying all kinds of stuff about me. Oh, you just got me quick for that. Are you kidding me, man? I could eat your lunch. I could put a sandwich on my back and starve you to death, man. Are you kidding me? I could have you for breakfast. I could do it. Just, oh, well, I don't want to talk to you. Thank you very much. I could do it just like I did right now, just like I'm going to do right now.
Those are the words of Roddy Piper. By the way, on this great card coming up at the Boston Garden, don't forget Tito Santana, Intercontinental title defense. He's going to be going against Greg the Hammer Valentine. More on that later. Get your tickets in advance. Sergeant Slaughter, come on in. I need an explanation. What in the world, a boot camp match? You and the Iron Sheik, how did it come down to this?
Well, it comes down to I bled enough. That's what it came down to. When somebody thought they were tougher than the drill instructor in boot camp, we went behind the barracks and we found out who the tougher man was.
Well, I'm just saying this right now to you, Iron Sheik. There are no rules in this match. When nobody was behind the barracks, you don't have any rules. There's no referee, that's the main thing. The referee is on the floor, and the only time he enters that ring is to count your shoulders down or tell you that you've lost the match because you submitted from the Cobra Clutch. And you can wear anything you want in that ring. You can wear those steel boots of yours because I'm going to have my own specially made steel-toed combat boots in there in Boston.
You know, Sergeant, if I may interrupt you, I have seen these steel-toed boots that you have alluded to, and my goodness, they're as hard as rock. They're like a hammer, actually.
That's right. They're illegal. They're not allowed in professional wrestling. But this isn't a professional wrestling match.
They're not company issue, is what you're saying.
That's right. They're government issued. They're for war. They're to hurt people. They're made for a reason. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust may be what it's all about, Iron Sheik. A boot camp match? I'd hate to be in your boots because I haven't let it all out yet. I'm coming to Boston for one reason, because I've bled enough. The last time they came out there and pulled me off of you. This time nobody's allowed out there. There are no rules. There's never been anybody to ever see one of these matches. And that place is going to be packed with people, so don't blame me if something else happens. Something bad.
To tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen, I am not so certain that I really want to see what they're calling a boot camp match. It's going to be Sergeant Slaughter going against the Iron Sheik you also know, Rowdy Roddy Piper, to meet The Rock, Rocky Johnson, Intercontinental title defense, Tito Santana, his opponent, of course, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and in addition, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff to go against Ivan Putski at the Boston Garden Saturday night, June 23rd. We're going to be right back. And the big one coming up at the Cape Cod Coliseum, ladies and gentlemen, this Monday night with an 8 o'clock start, the World Wrestling Federation and a new season out of the Cape. On that great card, you're going to be seeing Greg the Hammer Valentine. His opponent will be Chief Jay Strongbow. You know about the bad blood between these two men. In addition, Sergeant Slaughter to go against Dr. David Schultz, and the Iron Sheik to meet my guest at this time. He is the flamboyant Jimmy Superfly Snuka. You've got your work cut out for you, the Iron Sheik, and this is no love affair, to say the least.
Well, brother, it's one thing I just love about that you just gave up my love affair sign, and that's the most beautiful thing that you could start off with me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Cape Cod, it's been quite some time that I have been around that part of that
area. Does it remind you, by the way, at all of your home islands?
Brother, this part of this whole country and this whole world remind me of the most beautiful things that every part where this body steps upon. But Iron Sheik, let me tell you something, brother. I have been watching and paying attention very carefully to your wrestling ability. And it's no anything or anywhere or any kind of feeling that I feel, brother. It's just only one thing that I like to say. Is that when I get into that ring with you, that's the only part and the only place that I like to do my talking is inside that ring circle. Iron Sheik, you are one kind of man that you got your own kind of type in your own category, in your own profession. But brother, when the time comes, the time is going to show and prove the point right down to the point of view of our professional wrestling, brother.
I thank you very much. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Cape Cod Coliseum, this Monday night. We'll see you there. Fan enthusiasm with the return of professional wrestling to Southern California in the form of the World Wrestling Federation. Truly a new era in professional wrestling. The next big card out at Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles will be a Saturday night, June the 30th, 8 o'clock start. Fans, get your tickets in advance already. Promoters going to work on that big one. Title defense for the incredible Hulk Hogan. The challenger will be Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. I'm going to be talking to him in a moment. Also signed in a return bout, and a very unusual one, I am suspecting, Sergeant Slaughter to meet my guest. At this time, the Iron Sheik and his manager, Ayatollah Fred Blassie.
All I can say, if those pencil neck geeks out there hadn't ought to come in and grabbed a hold of the Sheik,
there would not be a Sergeant Slaughter for a return match because the Sheik was beating him within an inch of his life. Hitting him, slapping him, turn him loose, slap him again. Hallelujah.
Sheik, what's with the beads? I'm just curious.
لس آنجلس کالیفرنیا. خدمت همه شنوندگان ایرانی عزیز که در لس آنجلس زندگی میکنن سلام عرض میکنم و موفقیت همه شما را آرزو میکنم. همه دنیا پهلوانای ایران رو میشناسه، مخصوصا غلامرضا تختی، مخصوصا آرون شیک. نوکر غلامرضا تختی هستم. همه دنیا الله اکبر. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد.
Sheik, I'm going to interrupt, and I don't want to be rude, but I have spoken to you privately. Your English is quite good, as a matter of fact. Perhaps you might want to say something in English.
I am going to come Los Angeles only for wrestling. I'm not a school teacher too. I speak English. Plus, all my Iranian people, Los Angeles, all my support over there, they're going to be sold out. Before Los Angeles going to be sold out, everybody going to make a reservation. They're going to come Los Angeles. Sergeant Slaughter, this time Iranian people tell me, Sheik, give him some damage, give him something, kick his rib, send him to hospital, and after that, speak to that his fat American body, you American hog. خدمت همه شنوندگان ایرانی عزیز سلام عرض می‌کنم، مخصوصاً ارتش بود گردن کلفتا مرتضی تکیه و شعبان جعفری. سلام علیکم، مع السلام، خداحافظ، نوکر همه شما.
Hallelujah.
All right, the words of the Iron Sheik. He is a former world's heavyweight champion. By the way, for you great wrestling fans in Southern California, as we're kicking it all off, we wish you a very happy Memorial Day weekend. Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. You talk about opportunity knocking. Certainly that is the case, as you're going to be meeting the world's heavyweight title holder here on Saturday night, June the 30th, the incredible Hulk Hogan. And Hulkamania has arrived in Southern California.
Big deal. You make it like it sound like it's an honor for me to step in the ring with him.
Well, you know
it is not that way.
You know
it's an honor for him to step in the ring with Mr. Wonderful.
Wait a minute. We're talking about the prestige, the financial gains, the notoriety of a world's title.
I could buy and sell him 3 times over. You know something? He's fake from one end to the other. And you know, I got an update on Santana. There's a good possibility that he may not step in the ring again. You know, that was just a warm-up. Hogan, I want you to watch. I hope you watch that film and what I did to Santana. And his little friend that tried to jump in the ring and help him out, huh? You understand that, who I'm talking about? The guy out there with no teeth? So I dare anybody to mess with this man right here. And Hogan, the same thing can happen to you that happened to Santana. Matter of fact, it will happen to you. You're 6'5", right? 6'7". When I get through with you, you're going to be about 5'11". What?
You're talking about the pile driver. Just for the record, let me clarify. 6'8.5", 303 pounds, world champion Hulk Hogan.
Big deal. What's a big deal?
You say big deal.
Big deal. You're making it a big deal. I ain't made it a big deal.
Well, I want...
Right? I've been chasing him. This is the first time that he would actually have guts enough to put his name on a contract to wrestle me. They made him do it. And if you look the way he wrote his name, it's all scribbled and scared because he was shaking so bad that when he had to write his name on that contract.
I don't know about that.
Tell me about it. Am I right or wrong?
Thank you very much, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, to challenge Hulk Hogan here on Saturday night, June 30th, Olympic Auditorium. You will not want to miss it.